Hey YouTube, it's Magician34, and I'm here to talk to you about the March 2012 ban list. First and foremost, I think the shortest way to summarize the ban list is to say, what ban list? Realistically, this is probably the least changing, least affecting ban list that has ever been released, which in many ways is kind of a real letdown because we had a format for the past 6 months that was largely dominated by one deck, and then toward the end, several very powerful decks were released all at once, big archetype decks, wind-ups and Zectors, and to a lesser extent ninjas, that were just had ridiculous combo potential, a lot of game-breaking kind of stuff that's exactly the kind of thing the ban list usually answers, and it did not control them. And we're supposed to be paralleling Japan, of course, which means that since those decks have been running around a lot more in Japan, you would think, okay, well, they'll limit it, and we got a little bit of a run out of it, but that's okay. We're fixing everything for Nationals and Worlds Beyond, except that nothing happened. I mean, on the one hand, I guess it's a relief because we already know how to play for the next 6 months because we've been playing that same format for the past 6 months. But at the same time, it's kind of disappointing because it means it's going to be a broken, very cash-based format for the most part. And it also seems to reinforce this notion that Konami is basically just creating ban lists and making new cards, especially TCG exclusives here stateside, that are basically just designed to create revenue for the company, but they generate this scenario where Konami is in a nuclear arms race with itself, basically, where every new archetype has to be bigger, better, faster, and it's even more amazing and more explodey than before. And the problem is that, of course, then you can only go so fast and you can only do so many truly amazing things before you just can't go faster anymore. And it's kind of self-destructive, which I think a lot of players are kind of thinking it's going to ruin the game. And in a lot of ways, I'm kind of afraid it's going to destroy the game too, personally. So I guess the way to put it is we're not happy about the ban list, but hopefully September will prove some changes, and not just to boost the new cards, but to truly balance the format and make the game more fun to play. I mean, isn't that the point of the game? But, well, anyway, to get to the actual cards, first off, Glow Up Bulb is banned. Yes, Glow Up Bulb was a good card, but did he deserve to be banned? Is he broken? Well, pretty much not. I mean, Plants was on the way out anyway, but alright, I can kind of see Glow Up Bulb banned. Alright, whatever. Spore? Hmm. Yeah, well, I guess it could have maybe Plants? No. Okay. Well, sorry, guys. Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Bearer. Yes, a very powerful card, a very powerful effect. Doesn't really get summoned very much anymore, and the only deck that was really summoning it with any kind of vague reliability was Agents, and they're already on the way out. Granted, they were obnoxious for about 4 or 5 months, but their time is clearly gone, so did this need to get banned? Probably not. We would have been just fine at 1, realistically. Trap Does Shoot? Okay, so maybe there is a modicum of justice on this ban list. This is the, oh, what a coincidence, I got it in my opening hand when I went first, and don't draw it at all any other time, but I always get it in my opening hand, really annoying card for all time. And I think everyone's thoroughly tired of hearing that. I go second, draw my card, and your opponent says, during your standby phase. So, okay, yes, glad that one's gone. Thoroughly obnoxious card. Alright, Agent of Mystery Earth, she's at 1. Okay, decent pick, wrong time. But still, okay, well, nice to see her go down. She's the tuner in that deck, that's interesting. And TG Striker. Okay, I think he ran away. But anyway, okay, I don't have a TG Striker handy and didn't want to go to the trouble of getting one. But that's TG Striker. If you don't know what it does, look it up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki. TG Striker, the Cyber Dragon tuner, basically is also limited to 1. The only deck that really affects particularly, I guess, is TG Skill Drain, but they can probably still play with just 1 copy of him, so it doesn't really hurt them that much at all, so not really a lot of news there. The summoning limits, Marshmallow goes to 2. Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, Marshmallow wasn't really offending anybody or doing anything broke anyway. Lumina, Sadly, Lightsworns, as much as I love Lightsworns, the prevalence of Valor and Thunder King doesn't help them, and about a million other things. The fact that they have to have their normal summon resolved, and there's so much hate, like, warnings and whatnot out there. Lightsworns weren't a threat anyway, so this going to 2 is nice for the deck. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but it's nice. Same goes for Emergency Teleport. Cool card, good stuff. Maybe Gustos can use it in the next 6 months, but I kind of doubt it. Just cool to have it too. It was time. Shan Smoke Signal, 6 Samurai playable. Yeah, tier 2, tier 1.5 maybe, but that's cool. Have that at 2. That's okay. As long as Shan's still at 1, that's fine. Level Limit Area B. Hey, we're promoting Xyz monsters. It's not a secret because Xyzes get under that. Not that big a deal, that card. A lot of the other archetypes just go right under it too. Torrential Tribute at 2. This card is one of the few changes that really is going to impact the format just a bit. Blow up the field. It's to stop people from going off, basically. So it defends windups and to a lesser extent Inzectors. So that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Definitely a card to be considering it too. Ultimate Offering. Oh, I'm sorry. I passed out. It must have been the aneurysm I had from this card going to 2. I'm not even going to bother with that. Reborn Tengu. Once again, a good case of right card, wrong time. Reborn Tengu at 2. Well, that more or less nukes Tengu, but the only deck that was running him, once again, was Plants. Plants, which wasn't really going to be playable anymore anyway. And Tengu's gone, so, well, sorry those of you who might have wanted to cling to Plants. That is definitely not an option anymore. Sorry, Tengu. You deserved it, but you deserved it earlier. Now, you probably could have gotten away at 3 and not been unbalanced for the first time, and that's when you get hit, of course. And the only card that came unlimited completely was Call of the Haunted, because it went to 2, nobody cared at all, pretty much, so might as well put it at 3. And, honestly, once again, the speed issue, and a lot of decks don't really break that much with this card, so Call can be at 3, and it's really not offensive. So, I mean, let's summarize here for a second and take a quick kind of statistical look at the ban list and see about all these changes. Okay, so 15 cards by name changed. 7 cards went up in some way, and 8 cards went down. So numerically, we lost cards by name. But some cards you went from like 3 to 1 or 3 to 0. So what was the overall number of card slots we lost? Okay, well, we lost 14 cards by slot from the game, and we only gained 7 slots. So no matter how you look at it, this list definitely took more cards away than it gave to you. And that would be fine, except it didn't take away from the decks that are really going to be the biggest defenders, and we knew they were going to be big, imbalanced defenders. And there's going to be a lot of rage, I think. And usually the ban list does generate rage every time, but I think this time more than possibly ever before, it really is justified. So if you're upset, yeah, I'm in there too. I think we can play through it and it'll be okay, and at least there are multiple decks to choose from in this format. But that said, none of them is really a lot of fun to play too many times because it's very redundant and they're not fun to play against. So, I don't know. Just good luck for the new format. And that is your March 2012 ban list. And until next time, rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more cool videos.